way to do. There's somebody here which is a total departure now. Woodma is a childhood friend. We were together with him. He ran away from school, and this is part of my pride in knowledge. So when he ran away from school, he married. He had nothing because of poverty. His curtain was a gunia. He was sleeping on a mat, and this mat was also used by the mother. So he left school, and when he called me just to see, because he was newlywed, to see the wife and to introduce me to the wife, I was not impressed because we were sitting on a mat, eating on a mat, and even the food was not there. So from that day I also learned, really, is this the life I can lead if I run away from school and marry? So the man even wanted to go for honeymoon in Kericho. Then I asked him, how do you go to a tea plantation with a beautiful wife like this? And my friend, he said, love is blind, and I have made this choice. So they eloped, he ran away. Equally, there's another friend. No, he's not really a friend, but we came and found him. It's a part of my pride in knowledge. In Luo, we have what we call virtue praising. So we could go to parties, and there's a friend who went to Maseno and Alliance. So when he stands, everybody keeps quiet because he wants to tell people his academic achievements. So Omolo, my friend, could tell it all, that you people are joking around. Giving birth to a man like me, going to Maseno and Alliance is out. You will be drivers, you will be mechanic, you will be whatever. He was calling us names. So a woman cannot give birth to a man like me. So we were belittled. So from that day, I felt really, if this is what life is, then it has to be education. And this came when I was still a young boy, and I upheld it. So when I missed going to university by one point, again, I said to myself, because I really struggled in life. You saw me going to Kibera, going to Madare, because of one point. And that's why I'm advising the young ones. Don't miss something because of laziness or because you don't work hard, because God rewards working hard. Work hard, and then the society will accept you. Because when you see things are not doing well, it is because you did not work, and then the society is the one punishing you, not your father, not anybody else. And that's what happened. So when Omolo challenged us that we also need to be like him, because he escaped the World Bank job. And he used to live in Keren, he used to live, and then we admired him. He could choose from which cars to drive. And that's the life I wanted to live.
All right, so working hard.
Working hard.
And society and the world in general will reward you for that.
They will reward you. You'll knock any door. What I say, that education opens doors. Go knock any office. Display your credentials. You'll be accepted.
Okay. University is an interesting point in one's life. I guess from wherever it is you come from, especially with our public universities, you get to meet people from all walks of life, depending on where you come from, and sometimes your exposure can be a little bit limited. What would you say university was like for you? Meeting all these people from different communities, different backgrounds, with different styles of thinking.
Thank you very much. That is a very good question. Nairobi University gave me a lot of challenges, Madam Yvonne, when I went there. One thing, the introduction day alone, I started learning. The English they were using, the sense they were trying to bring up, how to manage yourself, praising Nairobi, this is the only university, and you can also distinguish somebody from Nairobi University, the way they walk, because they walk as if they own the whole world. So from that day again, madam, I said I have to pursue knowledge. Though I had challenges, but there were good things about you. The lecturers of Nairobi University, when they stand before you, you know there's an academician trying to bring you up, add value to your life. And that's what happened. There's the core units, they have science and technology. All the Chiromo lecturers, with PhD, with professional, the professors and the doctors, they will teach you. Not just one, so many of them. And I got interested, this is how it is. So we went on. It was rough. Doing BCom at my age, I was 43 years when I started, imagine. I finished when I was 49. It was a challenge. So certain units were impossible for me. Impossible. So there were 49. And I never mixed a lecture even one day. So the 49, I failed 4. So these 4 I failed. The lecturer could easily tell you, get the books, just read and see if you can answer those questions. If you cannot, just sleep, we'll wake you up. And they are that proud. That's what they were doing to us. But I met people. If you want to speak of bright people, I met bright people. They challenged me. I used to go to Jomo Kenyatta University. I used to go to Chiromo just to live up to expectation of Nairobi University. And the research was impossible. So when I proceeded to do PhD, Washington International University, where I had to read 12 books and report from page to page and not reflecting the words in those books. It was not easy. But what helped me, the way Nairobi University brought me up, Washington had no problem with me. Whenever I write something, it was excellent because the way I was brought up. And that is another challenge that I realized, that it is good to know what you are doing. And the research I did was excellent because it had to be reported in the academic journal, which I'm very happy about up to now.
Doing your BCom at the age of 43, after having, struggled, missing it by 1 point, and that, I suppose, is the greatest challenge a lot of young people are facing today. Their KCSE results are out, the cluster isn't quite right, you didn't make it here, you didn't make it there. What is your advice to them in terms of pursuing that knowledge? It may not be now when they're turning 18, 19, 20, but in terms of keeping their minds focused, that it will happen sometime. Perhaps you can give them some hope about sitting down at the age of 43 and getting your BCom and then moving on to get the PhD and everything. Just interested to know some words of wisdom that you would have for a lot of students now that may be thinking, my life is over. I've missed university. That's the end.
That is a very good question. I've mentored so many. Those who borrow my pride in knowledge have borrowed it. And I'm telling young people, instead of committing suicide because you have missed this and that, even if you have got D+, go and do certificate.
Yeah.
I'm proud of a young man I advised. He came to me, I told him, young man, these people who have gone to university, because he also missed the way I missed, but this was during the 844 days. I told him, that is not the end. I want you to take on CPA, do CPA. The young boy listened to me. He did CPA, declared. He went to CU, he got first class. Now he's doing MBA Nairobi University. He's going to left with three units. These are one of the people I'm proud of. I've also advised other failures like that to do CPA. And they have started from, is it ACT? This accounts clerk something. Some are now doing Section 4, some Section 5, and they are in employment. So that is a group of 6. They are 6 or 7. And I'm very proud of them. I know what they are doing. They are following this young man. Because if the young man started with accounts clerk and is now doing MBA Nairobi University and CPA there, this gentleman is, and his first class, is overqualified. So these boys that commit suicide, they need, I don't know how I can see them, I'll tell them. It is because they don't work hard, madam. If you work hard, God will reward that work hard.
Okay.
And I'm happy the way education is liberalized now in Kenya. You get your D+, you go to certificate. From certificate, you go to diploma. Diploma, bachelor. So why should you commit suicide?
Indeed. There's many ways.
There are many ways.
Many paths.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Daktari, let's take a phone call this morning. Let's hear what our viewers have to say to us today. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
How are you?
Very fine, huh?
Thank you for calling us. Give us your name and question or comment, please.
I'm Otoa Sifuna.
Yes, Sifuna, how are you?
I'm calling from Nairobi.
Okay.
I'm actually an English and literature teacher here in Nairobi, Dr. Mwenje High School. First of all, I should compliment Daktari for his motivative speaking, especially directed to the students. I happen to possess a first-hand experience with the students, and most of them despair because you will see utterances such as education is very hard. There are those who have given up. This is quite a good and encouraging statement from Daktari. However, there is a problem because of our current generation. The reading culture has drastically gone down. Our young generation has been affected mostly by the social network, that is Twitter, Facebook, and the rest.